How many monsters are in Monsters University? I have no idea. A lot. Making a few monsters is a pretty daunting task. Making hundreds of monsters is near impossible. College is all about diversity. For a lot of people, it's the first time they meet different types of people. And so it's so important, especially in a world of monsters and in a world of college, that we feel like we're meeting monsters we had never met before, that we feel like we're seeing monsters we didn't get to see in Monsters Incorporated. We wanted to have flying monsters, tentacled monsters, slug monsters, two-headed monsters, monsters with all different types of arms, and furry monsters, and big and small monsters, everything we could think of.
In this film, we have like so many different types of monsters, and they all move differently. They all have different types of animation controls. And so that presents a real challenge.
You might say, you know, have that guy pick up that thing and hand it to that guy, and they say, that guy doesn't have arms.
That was also a challenge for us, creating this library of animation for all these very unique, specific character rigs.
Rigging would be the equivalent of like a marionette puppet. It'd be attaching all the strings so that an animator can later control that puppet.
There's a lot of different styles of locomotion for all these characters, and each one is built differently and has a different physicality.
We developed 5 different types of monsters, and within each type, we built in a bunch of different controls to get lots of variety. For instance, there's the Spiff species, which is 2 arms, 2 legs, but a very simple face. And from that, we changed the shape of the arms and the legs, the size of the head. With color and with fur, we get a huge variety. We'll get 50 characters from that one species.
There was Fungus, there's Slug.
They're the Charlies, which are our tentacled characters.
We designed, we call it the block species, which is basically shaped like a block. And then there's a pill body character, which is more Mike-like. It's a rich pool of characters. We also did a ton of one-offs just to build more variety in the world.
Early on in the film, when we were developing the character of Dean Hardscrabble, her character was actually a he.
Good morning. I am Dean Hardscrabble.
It was this sort of kind of boilerplate Krusty Dean. We've seen him before.
Kind of heavy and older and flabby, and he had an alligator tail. And it just, you know, it was okay.
So much of the fun of doing a sequel or a prequel is to expand the world. And I realized we've never seen a great female scarer.
Then the decision was made to make Hardscrabble female. And in my mind, it's one of the great things that happened on the film. It gave everyone a fresh take on the character. It gave us an opportunity to ask ourselves questions we wouldn't have asked otherwise. We had to really think about why someone's intimidating.
In the monster world, sometimes gender is a tricky read. Sometimes it's eyelashes thrown on a character.
I didn't want to just take the old Hardscrabble design and put eyelashes on. So as we're trying to find this character, we were trying all of these different things.
She's like one of the best scares ever in the world ever. So how does she get there?
We knew she had to be great, and we knew she had to be scary. Just figuring out how to make her terrifying, yet an authority, yet feminine. We spent months redesigning Hardscrabble.
Dan was the one that said, you know, it's got to be a kind of a combination of that creepiness but elegance. And he was talking about how a centipede has that.
And I said, you know, that would be amazing to animate. I'm super scared. That's a lot of legs.
We actually brought in a giant centipede. It was pretty frightening for everybody.
You can see him biting the forceps. You can see those big fangs under there.
This giant centipede is super dangerous. So dangerous that he says, if you get bitten, you don't die, but you wish you could die.
If this bites you, the wound will get larger over the course of about a week. Wow. So it doesn't heal at all for a week. It just gets bigger and bigger as the venom eats more and more flesh away.
A centipede has this gross, like repulsive creepiness, but when you see these things move. There's a gracefulness. There's this amazing kind of undulation of the legs that are just, for animation, you just get so excited about.
Looks great. All right, final. Now that all the major story points are worked out and I know that everything in the foreground is working the way it should, I love to just sit and look at the background and really just look at all these great characters that are wandering around and all these great little specific moments that the animators gave them. I feel like I could look at that forever, and I probably will be watching this film forever.